What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? HumbleZeus here, and welcome back to another video. So I know you guys are probably super cross with me for the lack of uploads, the fact that I have said nothing about that on Twitter, on Facebook, or any of my media. I'm sorry about that. However, I am going to talk about that in another video. It was a really real serious issue that I needed to get handled, and there was no way I knew it was going to happen. I had no way of preparing for it. It took a lot of time out, so I am very sorry about it. I will be talking about it in a future video, but in today's video, I want to spend some time answering some questions you guys have had about the upcoming graphics series. I want to get all your concerns laid to rest, or at least the ones that I feel are the most important at this moment in time. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I have a little contest that I want you guys to be a part of. So stick around if you're interested. If you don't want to, I mean, you don't have to, but you're missing out on something. So with that being said, let's kick off the questions with the first question, the question I've seen come up a lot when I talk about graphics, which is, will I need Photoshop? No, you will not need Photoshop. A lot of people have asked me this question. No, you don't, because I personally do not use Photoshop. I don't have it. I've thought about subscribing to like their little monthly thing, and I always say no. I have way too many things I'm subscribed to monthly. Can't add another to that list, but you do not need it. You have no need for Photoshop. You do not need to worry about being unable to do anything I talk about in this series because you lack Photoshop. Does it help to have it? Yes. Can you use the same things if you have Photoshop? Yes. But it is not at all necessary. I'm not going to teach you something that I myself can't use because I don't have a program. It's not worth it. That actually kind of leads into the next question, which is, what program should I use for this series? And I'm like, use whatever you want, but I'm going to be recommending GIMP. And the reason I recommend GIMP is because it's pretty much Photoshop, though it can be a bit more complex in some areas. So if you're not a big fan of a learning curve, you might not like it, but the utility there is some of the best I've seen. I'm going to be leaving a download link to it. It is free. There is no need to worry about malware or anything like a lot of people use it. I'll leave a trusted link to it. So looking down in the description if you don't yet have it and you want it. And even after that, continue to look around. There are some little like expansion packs for it that can really, flesh it out more. So if you're somebody who really wants to get good with it, there's a lot of options for you there. So just take a look around, but I'll be leaving a download link to it in the description of this video, so don't worry about that. So moving into the next question, can you guys suggest your own video topics? Absolutely yes, 100% yes. If there's something in particular you want to see covered, let's say you want to hear more about color choices or something along those lines, all you have to do is leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you want to hear about. I'll put it to a vote and see if you guys are really interested in hearing about it. If it wins, then yes, it'll become a video, or it'll at least be mentioned. And because the videos are longer, don't worry about that. They are going to be a lot longer. There'll definitely be a lot of chance to kind of flesh out your ideas. So even if you don't necessarily get picked, I still might cover it if I think it's really valid. So yes, absolutely. You guys can have your voices heard in the series if you so want to. And if your idea gets picked, then I shout you out, because I'm going to be like, thanks to XX Sephiroth XX for suggesting this video topic. Go give his channel a look, or go, follow him on the Snapchat, whatever you want. But definitely suggest your own things. And the reason I'm adding that little extra, I will shout you out at the end, because I want you guys to really feel incentivized to participate. There is no loss to you for speaking out about things you want to hear about. Be it, do you want to hear about what programs work best? Do you want to hear about what color choices work best? Don't feel like anything you want to see isn't worth talking about, because if it is, I will, totally throw it in a video. So don't worry about that. Feel free to do it, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with if you so choose to participate in that little fun part of the series. Speaking of that, how long is the series going to last? I know I got a few questions about that. I don't envision it lasting a very long time. I know, sad face, but again, remember, the videos are going to be longer. I'm going to try to put a lot more content into those particular videos. So I'm going to be covering a lot of ground, and in doing so, I of course reduce the number of episodes I make. Now you guys might be like, that's kind of weird. Don't you want to make a lot of videos to get more views? Yes, but I do not want to artificially inflate views by just choosing not to cover particular topics. That feels kind of dumb, especially if they coincide with one another. So I am going to be kind of just putting everything together in a bit longer videos, so that way you guys can get more out of them overall. So no, the series is probably not going to last anywhere near as long as the guide series, but do not worry, it'll be a respectable length. And hopefully you guys will learn a lot from it, even if it's not near as long as that series in general. So I hope I answered all your questions in regard to that in terms of length, because I really just do not know how long it's going to be, but just do not envision it being a very long series in general. So sorry about that for people who are like, please make it last forever. It's probably not going to, sorry. But moving into the last few questions, when can we start submitting art? So if you guys remember, I did say you could, if you so choose, submit art to be featured in the graphic series. So when does that begin? It begins now. As of this moment, you guys can start submitting your art so I can start reviewing it and start picking out a really good first few choices for the first episode. First episode is probably not going to go up for a little bit just so I can get everything together and proper, especially because my first week of college is coming up. But once that's all sorted and taken care of, I'll have the first episode up and all your art, everyone who submitted art will probably be featured in it. So you can start submitting it now. How can you do that? You can submit it either to my business email at therealhumblezeus@gmail.com. I'll leave a link to it down below. It is also in my channel's about page. If you don't really want to remember it, you can always go look there and find it. You can follow me on Twitter and DM it to me. You can message me on Facebook about it, though I don't check Facebook, so you might end up getting skipped just because I don't check it very often. Plenty of ways to contact me, but send me your art, let me see it. I will obviously be checking to make sure it's yours. If I can get in contact with the creator of the art, if I can find it, I'll be like, hey, did you authorize this? And they're like, no, then I'll have to be like, sorry, no for you. Same thing with you can't submit on behalf of somebody. I'm not going to believe that. So general rules, just make sure it's yours, make sure I can actually post it, so nothing like no hentai or anything. Just send me normal things like thumbnails, banners, logos, pictures you drew that are appropriate, etc, etc, etc. And so you guys could get featured. A last question is, can you be featured more than one time? Yes, you can. Why? Because I don't feel it's fair to limit an artist to just one submission and then done. If I think you're really good and I want to see, more of your art, or you're someone who has a lot of progress in your art, then I'll show it off more than once, get you some more exposure for that. But don't worry, yes, you can be picked more than one time. So I've gotten, I think, most of the questions out the way, or at least most of the important ones out the way. I'll still answer some as the series progresses, as you guys develop more questions, but do not worry. So make sure to let me know what you guys think about the series. And now let's talk about that little contest I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So I've been referring to the series as the graphic series. Not a very creative name, I know, so we're having a little naming contest. The person who wins the naming contest will get from me a shout out in the first 3 episodes of the series, meaning the first 3 videos that I make in regards to the graphic series. Your name, your YouTube channel if you have one, any social media you want, will all be shouted out in the beginning with a little bit of fanfare alongside the artist. If you're an artist whose name also happens to get picked, then, that's going to be a whole other thing. You'll get a whole bunch of shout outs then in that way. But I just want to have a little fun contest for you guys. So if you guys are creative with names and you guys want to name the series, go ahead. It'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Of course, if nobody picks it, no one picks a name, then I'll have to name it. But it's going to be a big missed opportunity not to participate. I feel like there's no reason not to. So definitely leave your name suggestions down below. I'd love to hear them. And I think I've covered everything I want to cover in this video. So I am back. I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in another video. Zeus out.